Senate Republicans are reportedly close to a deal with the Democrats to finally end all this after Trump reportedly caved on his SAVE Act demands, sort of. Republican leaders reportedly were optimistic about reaching an agreement after meeting with Trump at the White House yesterday, with reporters asking Senator Katie Britt if the GOP had a solution, and Britt responded, "We do," and then added, "I'm going to be working through the night, so hopefully we can land this plane." Now, as far as what that solution is, the exact details haven't been made public yet, but it's been widely reported that the plan would fund almost all of the department except for ICE's enforcement and removal operations. Now, very notably here, under this proposal, enforcement and removal would not stop entirely, right? Those functions have already been funded by Trump's big, beautiful bill. And other key areas would still be getting new funding, like ICE's Homeland Security investigations. But denying any additional funds for enforcement and removal operations, it's been a major sticking point for the Democrats throughout this shutdown. So depending on what we see, this could be a pretty significant compromise for them. Also, we're seeing reports that the Republican proposal would provide some guardrails that Democrats have demanded, like requiring officers to wear body cameras, among other measures. And to that point, some Democratic lawmakers have previously expressed support for a deal that could exclude funding for ICE enforcement and removal. But there's also a big catch here that could end up being a deal breaker for the Democrats, because there are actually two parts to the Republican scheme here. Step one, agree to scrap new funding for ICE enforcement and removal in order to get Democrats on board and secure enough votes to reopen DHS. And then step two, immediately turn on the Democrats and pass a separate bill that funds money for enforcement and removal operations by using the budget reconciliation process, which allows them to bypass a 60-vote filibuster. But then also, what's crazy is that scheme was initially rejected by Trump, with him repeatedly telling Republicans to not make a deal with the Democrats until they agreed to pass the SAVE Act. But that SAVE Act is a total non-starter for Democrats, who note that voter fraud by non-citizens is incredibly rare, and they argue that the bill would actually prevent millions of eligible citizens from voting because they lack necessary documentation, which is why you had Dem leaders accusing Trump of trying to sabotage sensitive negotiations. But now, if the reporting here is true, Trump's made a complete 180 and embraced the two-part plan. And as far as why he made such a significant shift in such a small amount of time, it appears to be in part because GOP leaders promised him that they would also include elements of the SAVE Act in their future reconciliation bill. But that could be a tall order if it's even possible at all, because lawmakers only use the reconciliation process for legislation directly concerning spending, taxation, or deficit reduction, but the SAVE Act is a policy proposal by nature. Now, that said, you have some sources telling Fox News that Republicans could try to focus on the financial aspects of the Save America Act, or things like the provision that threatens to withhold money from states that refuse to comply. But even Fox notes that an argument like that would be difficult to get past the Senate parliamentarian who's responsible for enforcing the strict reconciliation requirements. And that is, this is all developing in real time. It's unclear if right now Democrats would even agree to pass a deal that excludes funding for certain ICE operations when they know that the Republicans intend to turn around and undo those changes. But then also at the same time, there's increasing pressure on both sides to reach some kind of agreement as the shutdown drags on. Or with airport delays getting worse and worse as TSA faces growing call-outs from workers who have gone weeks now without pay. And a lot of airports are still experiencing long lines and delays, even though, Trump's now deployed ICE agents to more than a dozen US airports in a very controversial move that was widely condemned by Democrats. A move that reportedly appeared to have limited effect in reducing security lines as passengers reported wait times as long as 5 hours in Houston and lengthy delays in other major cities. And reports adding that many passengers expressed bewilderment and said the officers did not appear to be doing much.